take you away from this high tea, which is so wonderful. And if you haven't tasted the collided cream, you must have some with the little jam. It's just marvelous. I'm Carin Guarasci. I'm happy to welcome you here today. See all my friends and many new faces. And what a wonderful tradition this is. Can you hear?
No.
Can we make it closer?
What a wonderful tradition this is. Great. I even hear better too. When I was asked to come and talk about women leadership skills and how they permeated my life, I thought, oh my God, this is a long life. How can I take the qualities that many of us have developed, many of us women have developed, and become very specific about them? So I started to do some research, and I found some articles that talked about outstanding women qualities, which I agreed with. So today, I want to talk about those qualities, and to also discuss how they're present in those we're honoring. Reflecting on my own life and drawn from this research I conducted on leadership, I believe there are 5 essential qualities of women's leadership. All of these characteristics are present in the woman being honored today. The first of these qualities is the ability to be persuasive, the ability to persuade, to be empathetic, and to read other people. Ms. Cynedra Osinaike is persuasive. Cynedra has a double major in psychology and in government and politics. She balances finding her voice while persuading others to find theirs. She can be very empathetic and helps others become resilient in the face of challenges. The second quality of women's leadership is the ability to stay focused on setting and reaching goals. Women who do this don't rise to success by accident. They set concrete goals and work hard to reach them. Instead of allowing their personal lives to sidetrack them, they find creative ways to balance work and family. Desiree Braithwaite started from humble beginnings, strove to be successful, and didn't allow her success to get in the way of helping others. While she maintains her commitment to her responsibilities on campus, Desiree continues her education. She does this even while raising a son. Desiree shares her love with so many, including members of the Black Student Union. She has graciously brought many students home with her during the holidays. The third quality of women's leadership is possessing the talent for team building. Women leaders excel at fostering strong relationships that develop strong teams. Ms. Gloria Malchiodi possesses this ability to bring people together. Her ready smile makes others feel special. Gloria has the unique talent to see the special gifts others have, lets them know what these gifts are, and in return builds community around her. The fourth quality is possessing a strong sense of self. Successful women leaders know exactly who they are, what they want to accomplish, and what they bring to the table. Ms. Carolina Silva has a strong sense of self. Caroline is a financial advisor for Merrill Lynch. In her role as a businesswoman, she developed partnerships with the National Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce and with the Women's Professional Network. Only a woman with a strong sense of self can be an advocate for various groups without marginalizing others. Carolina is active on the Wagner College Alumni Board and hopes someday to be president. The fifth and final quality I will speak about today is the courage to think differently. Dr. Edna Aurelus, faculty in the nursing department, already has a doctorate and is pursuing a postdoc in psychiatric nursing. She found unique ways to accomplish her goals by developing her own effective answers to the challenges she faces. Certainly, we can see that all these talented women feel free to question and find innovative solutions to life's challenges. It is my honor to be here today and to participate in this inaugural event honoring outstanding women. Indeed, they are very impressive.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Miracle Ijoma, and I'm a junior at Wagner College nursing major. And I'm here to talk about the meaning of the calla lily flower that's going to be awarded to each of the beautiful ladies tonight. The calla lily was chosen to represent the woman who inspired Wagner because of its striking elegance. It symbolizes grace and refined beauty. The calla lily begins as a tightly coiled bud before it evolves into a strikingly elegant bloom. Much as promising young ladies grow into magnificent women, it reminds us to focus on the beauty all around us. And it reminds us that even if it disappears for a season, it will be reborn as radiant as before. Like the calla lily, we must hold on to our innocence and poise, even as we search for our passion and move through the world to meet challenges with dignity, kindness, and purpose. The color of each calla lily has a distinct meaning. The white, as you can see over here, signifies purity, innocence, and youth. The yellow represents gratitude, joy, and friendship. The pink signifies appreciation, admiration, and happiness. The yellow represents energy, enthusiasm, and confidence. The purple donates strength, passion, and dignity. Thank you very much. Now I would like to introduce Ms. Burrow.
Thank you. Hello everyone, good evening. Thank you for being here today. My name is Borrell-Vargas. I'm a senior nursing major here at Wagner College. Esther Suarez received her graduate degree from Rutgers University, Douglas College in 1992 and received her law degree from Rutgers School of Law in 1997. For more than 5 years, she was a judge for the Superior Court in New Jersey. As judge, she presided in the Civil Division in Hudson County and Family Division in Passaic County. She also served as Bergen County Counsel and clerked for the Honorable Yolanda Ciccone, AJSC, and admitted to the bars of the state of New Jersey and the state of New York. She was sworn in as Hudson County prosecutor in Jersey City, New Jersey, in July of 2015. As a chief law enforcement officer, she seeks to enforce all laws justly, uniformly, and ensure that justice is served. She provides a leadership that promotes a safe and secure environment for the 660,000 residents of Hudson County. She oversees a budget of $23 million and a staff of approximately 300 employees consisting of assistant prosecutors, detective, and support staff, as well as partnership and supervision of more than 2,500 sworn-in law enforcement officers in 17 police agencies and 12 municipalities. Prosecutor Esther Suarez is the first female and first Hispanic to serve as prosecutor in Hudson County in its 178-year history. Please welcome Prosecutor Esther Suarez.
Good evening, everyone. Nice to see you all here. It's been a pleasure speaking to you all. And thank you for that gracious introduction, and thank you to those of you who have organized and hosted this wonderful event. It's not often I get to go to a tea party, and I love them so much. So buenas noches, hermanos y hermanas. It's a pleasure, again, to share this day with you. And it's a huge honor, a personal huge honor for me to be asked to be the keynote speaker in what is hopefully many ceremonies to come, honoring women who inspire here at Wagner College. I join with all of you in recognizing the achievements of all the inspiring honorees here today. And it's a pleasure to be in your company, and frankly, having read the bios, it's truly humbling to be able to come here and talk to you knowing the accomplishments of all the honorees, as well as some of the people that I've met here. And this event initially had come in the middle of Women's History Month. And one of the parameters for my discussion with you today was to share with you women that inspire me. And so it was about last year, around this time, that I was honored to receive an award, and it was the Fannie Lou Hamer Trailblazer Award. And it was one of those awards that was deeply special to me. It caused me initially to find out a little bit more about Fannie Lou Hamer, and I encourage all of you here to do the same. But just a little bit of information. That woman was truly a trailblazer, quite like me, but I'll get into that in a moment. She's a woman who exhibited courage and strength and wisdom. But more than anything else was her determination and her perseverance. What really left an impression with me was her experience in 1962 when she decided that she should register to vote. Did I say that right? I think it was 1862, at the county courthouse in Indianola, Mississippi. And she made a brave and somewhat simple decision. She encountered opposition from state and local law enforcement officers, and they walked her out of the courthouse. She lost her job, and she was driven home, all that for the audacity of trying to register to vote. Her response to that was something that I love so much about women, and that just gave her more determination and more drive, and she dedicated her life to fight for civil rights of other women. Her story is not as fortunate in that she was threatened, she was beaten, she was shot at, she was arrested, but it never derailed her efforts. And I share that story with you just to tell you about someone that did inspire me, and I learned a whole lot about her. And, I'll be very honest with you, my story pales in comparison to that. In as much as I am the prosecutor in a county where there's never been a woman prosecutor before, it's hardly the trailblazing that other people have done. Nonetheless, I'm honored to be here. I just have trouble sometimes understanding how I could be deserving of an award or be asked to come here and speak when there are other women that have done things so much more significant than anything I've done. Some of you may not know, or in the event you don't know, the prosecutor is the chief law enforcement officer of the county. And I think just to translate it a little bit into New York, New York is the district attorney, so I'm the DA of Hudson County, and here you'd have, I guess, the DA of, I think it's Richmond County, right? Do I have that right? And I love the fact that I'm the first woman. I love the fact that I'm the first Hispana to serve in that role. But I have to tell you, it's 2018, and I can't help but saying to myself, what took us so long, right? What happened that it wasn't until 2015 that Hudson County got a female, that Hudson County got an Hispana. So I'm blessed, and I truly mean that, to work in a job where I know that I am able to serve and directly impact the community that I call home, the same community that I grew up in and spent the majority of my life. I'm so appreciative of the fact that so many other women and so many other Hispanics are able to look at me. And I'm the person at the helm of that office, and they look at me so proudly. And I often go to events, and people I don't even know come up to me, and they tell me that they're proud of me. And that's probably one of my happiest moments, where someone of my background, someone that could very well be like my parents, who are immigrants, who their English isn't good, and their education was very, very, it was a poor education. They came from Spain, and they didn't get a good education. And the fact that somebody that, to me, looks like my parents, to tell me that they're proud of me. I know my parents are proud of me, but to be able to share that with other people is truly something so special. But I wasn't appointed to prosecutor on my own. I relied on the goodwill and the support of so many others. And this is certainly not the type of position that you get on your own. And isn't that just like a typical woman to say, you know, I did something really great, but I have so many people to owe for it. But that's the absolute truth. You don't get to certain points in your life without the help of others. And I've had the benefit of caring and loyal family members and friends who look out for me and keep watch for those little landmines that I might encounter and often do encounter. And I've also slowly and cautiously walked, for the most part, in the footsteps of other women. I didn't do anything. I followed the Fannie Lou Hamers of the world, and I followed other women in the world that really put those footprints in the sand for me. I relied on their experiences and their hardships to guide me through the process, and the perils of being a Hispanic woman in what has historically been a white male's career path. So I've mentioned an example of someone who I believe I've walked in her footsteps, and they're the stronger and the braver people. I didn't have to fight for my ability to vote. I didn't have to fight for, you know, as we see in other countries right now, your ability to drive. As crazy as that sounds for somebody that's living in a country where we live and we have the freedoms that we have, but we know, even though we've got those freedoms, even that's limited. I feel like what I'm doing is, with every footstep that I take, I'm just sort of widening, if you will, the footsteps that other women have taken for me. I'm walking in their footsteps, and just if I could just eke it out just a little bit wider each time, I hope that I will leave room for other women, like the women that I've met here tonight, the women that will be graduating, so that it could be just a little bit easier for you, as I believe it was just a little bit easier for me. But goodness knows, we still got a lot of work to do. I say that, I often say this, that I or we owe these women, the women that really did the work for us, a debt of gratitude. These women and others like them are individuals who have navigated the uncharted territory with no roadmap at all and no ability to know how their pioneer status would be received by others. And I hope and expect that I'll make it easier for the generation that's here and the generation younger than the one that's here, such as my little nieces. And it's important for me to make sure that they see they can do anything they want. And they can, it just requires a little bit of extra work. And there's the younger colleagues that I've also had the privilege of working with, such as when you're a judge, I don't know if you know this, you have law clerks that work for you. And the last year that I was a judge, right before I came to be the prosecutor, my law clerk had been working for me, and I was sitting in family at the time, family law. And she had always wanted to do family law, that's all she ever wanted to do. And I hired her because her resume reflected that. And I thought, this is a good opportunity for me to hire a young woman, and this is what she wants to do. But the day she found out I was going to be the prosecutor and delve into the world of criminal law, she says, Judge, I want to go with you. And I thought, how could you say that? You've only wanted to do family law, and that's something you've always wanted to do. And she said to me, and I'll never forget these words because it was so special to me, I want to go anywhere where you are. So if I could have that ability, and if I could make that impact on anybody, first of all, I'm doing something right, thank God, because you always worry, you know? But if I could have that impact, and if I could have that ability to help another woman and a younger generation, and if everybody did a little bit of that, I think we're moving ourselves in the right direction. I'm hoping to break the mold of a stereotype so that I can show my nieces and the younger generations of women that we don't all neatly fall into one category, and that as women and as minorities, we're not all alike, and you can't paint us with one broad brush. I believe that it is the responsibility of my generation to shatter the glass ceiling, to level the playing field so that we can make it easier. I promise you I will continue to pay it forward, and I ask you to do the same for others, and I'm asking the younger generation to keep that in mind for the generation behind you, because women have done it for us. And I encourage you all to do the same. And there are some men in the audience, and I'd ask you to do the same with that. If, in my role as the county prosecutor, if I could leave my tenure, if I could leave my mark on that office as having done something for the younger generations, and now at this point I'll say men, women, people of color, Hispanos, I'll feel like I've had a successful tenure. There are plenty of other things I want to do too, but the fact that I could have a positive impact on younger generations, and maybe I'd say also the underserved, that's a successful tenure, at least by my definition. To the young people in the room, breaking into the world, as some of you were telling me, I applaud you for furthering your education, but there's a little advice I just want to give you. I'm sure they cover a lot here in this institution, but I think this is practical. And this applies to all of us. Number one, manage your time. Manage your time well, and don't get on that slippery slope of watching television and the mindless stuff. Do something productive, and do something that challenges yourself every day. Learn how to manage your finances. Do not ever, ever rely on anyone else to take care of you. You take care of yourself. And I can't say that enough. You have to be responsible for yourself. I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to tell you to vote. Educate yourself and go to the voting booth and vote. I don't care how you vote. I just want you to do it. Exercise that right, because there are people in other countries that wait hours to be able to vote. Hours and a lot. Just vote and educate yourself. Don't go in there saying, hey, I'm a Democrat, I'm going to vote all D, or I'm a Republican, I'm going to vote all R. Know who you're voting for. And have fun. Do what you love, the money will come. Do what you're passionate about, the money will come. Don't worry about the money. So, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud and honored to have gotten the invitation to come here today to speak to you. You've all been so very attentive, and this has been a wonderful experience. I thank you for your kindness. Y que Dios me los bendiga. Thank you so much.
Let's try to make this
A bit taller.
Oh, God.
Sorry, just give me 1 second. Okay. Good evening. Could we just have another round of applause for someone so inspiring? All right, so my name is Kenya Hyman. I'm a junior here at Wagner College, and I am studying in business administration with a concentration in management. And I'm just gonna grab this. Okay. I'm a sister of the Women of Color Dialogue Circle here as well, so I'm excited to be here. And I will be reading you a poem by Noel S. Williams, and the reading is You're More Than Awesome. You're more than awesome. You are one of a kind. Your personality blossoms, and your bright soul is not confined. Your smile is beautiful. Your hope is bright. Your spirit is lovable. You shine through with your light. Sometimes you'll forget these things when your life gets tough. You'll feel as if you're tied up by strings. You feel like your life is rough. But when you get to that point, when you can't remember all the good, when you're being torn apart joint by joint, look back at this and remember what you should. You're perfect in every way. You are the light in the dark. Your spirit is yellow, not gray, and you are the start of a hopeful spark. You're more than awesome. You're more than kind. You're beautiful like a blossom, and your soul is not confined.
I would like to introduce Ms. Letty Romero, Office Manager in the Dean's Office and the Coordinator of the Women of Color Dialogue Circle.
Sorry.
This evening, we are honoring 5 amazing women who inspire at Wagner College. These women embody Wagner's uniqueness across the board. They are a faculty member, an administrator, a staff member, a student, and an alumna for our community. They are also mothers, adult learners, students, and our career professionals. They are kind and caring. They have demonstrated inclusivity, serve as role models to colleagues and students. They are part of the Wagner family and influence our community. I would like to present to you the 2018 inaugural Women Who Inspire at Wagner College. As I call your name, please come up. Dr. Edna Aurelus. Graduated from Wagner College with a master's in 2008, she is an assistant professor in nursing at the Evelyn L. Spiro School. Ms. Desiree Braithwaite. Graduated from Wagner College with her bachelor's degree in 2014. She is the assistant director in central services. Mrs. Gloria Malchiodi. Coordinator at the Center of the Student Engagement and Administrative Assistant at the Dean's Office. She is currently taking classes in psychology. Ms. Cynedra Osinaike. She is a senior graduating this May. She is completing her dual major in psychology and government and politics. And last but not least, Ms. Carolina Silva, graduated from Wagner College with a bachelor's degree in international affairs with minors in German and economics, with a concentration in political science in 2016. She is currently a financial advisor for Merrill Lynch. I would like to invite Dr. Ruta Shah-Gordon. She is the Vice President of Student Affairs and Chief of Staff. Dr. Gordon will be pinning each woman with a Calendly pin.
What a beautiful dress.
We're gonna make a hole in it.
I love it. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Oops.
Okay, this pin's gonna
Can you see it?
I can say this.
You're beautiful.
Should have looked at this before.
Yeah, I figured it out. Congratulations.
You're getting good at it now.
One crown silver shoes.
Yeah. Yeah, matches. It's fine. We're all family. You just don't shoot.
They are so pretty. Very nice.
Each one presents its own challenge.
Each one is different. So you have to be resilient to overcome a challenge right now. Congratulations.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Extra points of
I'm not sticking anymore. It's just a matter of closing it.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Be next, be next.
It's a good thing you got to do that.
Should do that now. Thank you so much. Okay, we're just going to sit over here. Are you?
Congratulations.
Okay, bring them out.
Lovely.
You want one?
You want one first with all of them?
You have yours?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much to be, I'm so glad to be here among all of these wonderful people. I'm honored and I'm so grateful for this award, my first award, to be a woman who inspired. So it means so much to me because that's what I want to be. I prepared that little 3-minute speech. I hope it's 3 minutes. Bear with me, please. I would like to first thank God for allowing me this opportunity to be here to receive this award. I'd like to thank the Provost Office, the Women of Color Dialogue Circle, Mr. Curtis White, Ms. Letitia, and the whole committee who made the decision to nominate me for this prestigious award. A woman who inspires is what I've always wanted to be. I was in disbelief when I received a voice message from Gloria. I had to walk over from my office at Campus Hall to her desk at Union to confirm that what I have heard in my voice message was actually correct. She confirmed that it was indeed correct, but I was still in disbelief. I became a nurse simply to provide quality care with dignity to my patients. I never thought that nursing would lead me into impacting lives the way I see it happening right now. I enjoy caring for my patients both nationally and internationally. I enjoy helping people both nationally and internationally. I enjoy teaching both nationally and internationally. All that is to say that I enjoy doing these things with all my heart. I plan on doing so as long as I live. I would like to express my gratitude to my husband, Mehmet Gul, my 2 daughters, Sarah and Victoria, who have been the pillar in supporting me throughout my journey. I would not be able to follow my dreams without their help and understanding. I would also like to thank the Wagner College, and particularly the nursing department, and my colleague professors, leading by Dr. Tucker, for supporting such global health initiative. I am forever grateful to my mentor, Dr. Margarita Sanchez, and my dear friend, Dr. Ali Arendt, who have been instrumental in giving me strength and encouragement throughout my time here at Wagner. I cannot finish this speech without mentioning the impact of the nurse practitioner students who have been giving their time and resources to help the people of Haiti. To all the nominees, congratulations, and continue to do the wonderful work that you do. Thank you all.
Good evening. Thank you, Dr. Guarasci, Dr. Shah-Gordon, Dean Wright, Ms. Niglia, Prosecutor Suarez, Ms. Romero, and for the support of my family, staff, from my family and my staff, and all the nominees. When I learned I was being honored, it made me think, how did I become one who inspires? As I thought about this, I realized most of my inspiration happened around tables. It took me back to the early morning hours of October 21st, 1990. The first time I remember being inspired. I was an 8-year-old girl, hours after losing my father, and I overheard my mother asking my aunt, as they sat at the kitchen table, how will my kids get through this? My aunt said, we'll make a plan and we'll work together. And so it went. These two women, one had just lost her husband and the other a dear friend. In their time of despair, they set out to make a plan for these children so they wouldn't become lost. 4 years on, the terrible preteen that I was, shocking, I'm sure that you know, I met another woman to inspire me, Coach Pam. After a few practices with her, she sat me down at a picnic table and asked me why I was so angry. I explained how tough I had it, how much I missed my dad, but she reminded me that I had good qualities and lots to be grateful for. I knew then that I wanted to be a coach one day and help kids like me and work with young people. A few short years later, I would be sitting at that same kitchen table with my mother. I would go on to tell her that I was going to be a mom at the young age of 16. But I had a plan and I had it all worked out. She told me to live my plan. I was inspired by her confidence in me. Then, one beautiful spring morning in 2000, I came upon the hill at Wagner and met a woman who would change my life and inspire me in many ways. My boss, Joanne Venturella. She took me under her wing and taught me many life lessons. In 2005, she sat me down at a conference table in our office and said it was time for me to start taking classes. I was weary as I had struggled most of my life with a learning disability, but she believed in me more so than I believed in myself. And in 2014, I did receive my undergraduate degree. Finally, last winter, over tea and Beethoven music, I was inspired by then Ms. Carin Guarasci, prepared to defend her dissertation. I realized it was time for me to get back to my studies and finish my degree, to keep my promise and get my grad diploma, and keep a promise that I had all those years ago to help young people. I am honored to inspire others on this campus, but realize that one can only truly be inspiring to a person by being inspired along the way. So take time to sit at a table, make a plan, and live your plan. Thank you very much.
Hello? Can you hear me? Do I have to take this out of here? You can hear me good.
Just make it a little taller.
Oh, now you're asking a lot, Kenya.
There you go.
Oh, look at that. Great. Hello? Thank you all for coming this evening. And thank you. You can't hear me? No. Sorry. I have a little cold, so I'm all right. I'm going to go like this. Thank you all for coming this evening, and thank you to the committee for choosing to honor me. I am humbled and grateful to receive this award. It is a privilege to be included with this group of remarkable women. I'm going to go a little off script for a second because I do want to thank Letty for putting together this beautiful evening. I'm so sorry that he couldn't be here because he really indulged us on this and let us do really what we wanted. And when I look around the room, I see family, and that makes me so happy. My co-workers, so glad they could all be here. Dean Tooker, I love you all. Okay, now I'm not going to get emotional. Since tonight is about women who inspire, I would like to talk a little about the women who inspire me. The person who inspired me first was my mom. Okay, hold on. Was my mom, Irene. The best thing that I can tell you about her was that above all else, she was kind and loved her family. She passed in August of 2011, but is here tonight because she lives on in my heart. And she also lives on in the person who inspires me most. My daughter, Skylar. Oh, this is bad.
Keep going, Gloria.
Thank you, Kia. 4 years ago, when I decided to take a chance and apply for a position at Wagner, she encouraged me and gave me the confidence that I didn't have. The only person happier, thank you, Desiree, she's so sweet. The only person happier than I was to get this job was Skylar. I know that if not for her faith in me, I would not be standing here today. After she graduated from Wagner in May, it was my turn. She supported my dream of attending college, something she knew I'd always wanted to do. Last fall, I took my first psychology class and fell in love with learning all over again. As usual, she was there. As usual, I'm sorry, I lost my place. As usual, she was there cheering me on. Whenever uncertainty and doubt creep in, she is the one who encourages me and keeps me focused. Often she tutors me on how things work in college and helps me study for exams. Her kindness and generosity amaze me. Her ability to reflect and improve herself is never ending, and she gently pushes me to do the same. She is loyal to a fault, sometimes brutal in her candor, and fiercely protective of those she loves. In my time here at Wagner, I have adopted many students, and in some cases, they've adopted me. They speak and I listen. I learn from them and care deeply about the things that impact their lives. Skylar knows how important this work is to me and supports that as well. A few years ago, we opened our home to a student, and she opened her heart to him too. She is unselfish in her willingness to share her mom, which gives me the freedom to care for others. Whether she's studying for hours to increase her LSAT score, baking brownies for me to bring to school, or making dinner because I have class, my beautiful daughter continues to astound me. Like you and I, she struggles with personal obstacles and setbacks, yet still finds a way to persevere and move forward. She shows me how to conquer my fears as she does the same, to cast aside doubt when it starts to consume me, to reflect even when I don't want to. She pushes herself to face hard truths, takes chances, and to be a better person today than she was yesterday. Like all of the other honorees tonight and many others in this room, she inspires me. Thank you again for this great honor.
Hello. I'm just going to unlock my iPad. Okay. I'm extremely honored to be receiving such an important award from the Women of Color Dialogue in the Dean's Office. I'm truly grateful to receive recognition for my contribution to the Wagner College campus. And to every nominee and winner, nominee, not nominee, congratulations. When I first arrived to Wagner, I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to mingle and meet new people and take part in Wagner College. During my time here, I have been exposed to various perspectives and individuals. These experiences have grown, and through these experiences, I have grown tremendously. This growth has led me to accomplish far more than I can imagine. I've had the honor of being the head resident assistant of Guildhall, treasurer and president of an organization, completed and published my senior psychology thesis. Thank you. And then some. The more that I learn from those around me, I'm inspired. The more that I take a step back, I'm inspired. I'm inspired by everyone in this room for being here today. Even with all that I've accomplished, I have faced several challenges along the way. However, each one of these challenges has only strengthened and molded me into the person I am today. A thorough professional who knows exactly what she wants, someone who sets her eyes on her goals and does not lose sight of it, and lastly, a truly humbled individual. Receiving this award would not have been possible without the inspiration I've received from my parents. Sorry. Okay. From my parents, for whom I'm not crying, I promise. Receiving this award would not have been possible without the inspiration I have received from my parents, from whom I have the deepest respect and for whom I derive the strength to challenge myself and perform better at each stage in my life. I would like to thank my mother, Cynedra Osinaike, who is here today, and my father, Aretokumbo Osinaike, who is in Nigeria for business. I sincerely would like to thank Letty Romero, Dean Curtis Wright, Dr. Ruta Shah-Gordon, the Office of Residential Education, and Andres, thank you so much. My closest friends for helping me reach the stage where I can proudly hold up this award as a mark of my achievement. I also promise to only get better at my work so that I can hold my head up high as a proud Wagner College alumni. Thank you.
Good evening. Wow, this is such an honor and such a humbling experience to be here in front of all of you and in front of my fellow honorees. I mean, really, what an inspirational group of women, right? I want to thank Wagner College for this amazing opportunity. Again, being a part of this inaugural Women Who Inspire of Wagner. It's just, for all of those that took a role in making this happen, thank you. Letty, I just met you tonight. High tea, that's, wow. When have you had a high tea at Wagner? And again, I want to thank my fellow honorees, not only for being amazing, but for the contributions that you've put into society to inspire other women as well. So thank you. So when we get to a point in life, whenever you're being honored for anything, regardless of what it is, it really makes you think. It's a time to reflect. What got me to the point where I am today so that I can be standing here speaking in front of all of you? So when I think about where I am today, I am similar to Esther. I work in financial services. I work in a very white male-dominated industry. And I think about, I'm a woman, I'm Latina, I'm also a gay woman. My partner's here, so that's positive. And not only as women do we face so many challenges in what we do and what it takes to get ahead, but I think about, okay, this is all great, but what got me to this point? Wagner did. Wagner got me to where I am today, and the women of Wagner, the women that I met that were a part of my experience at Wagner, even, meeting Carin Guarasci, meeting the faculty, the administration, my professors, and the alumni. The other women of Wagner were the ones who mentored me and supported me so that I would be able to get to where I am today. And not only the women, but the allies, right? The men in the room. Thank you for being here tonight. It's so important for you to be here just as much as So what I want to leave off with is for the students that are in the room. So for the students in the room, you've gotten to see and hear the stories and the experiences of some phenomenal women. So as you're out there and you're looking for that role model, or you're looking for that mentor, it's important to find the right woman to look up to so that you can continue to trudge on ahead. But what I ask you, for the students in the room, I have one ask. As you continue to grow and you develop yourself as a woman, do not forget to look back and reach out a helping hand. It's important that as women, we support one another. So for the students, make sure that you reach behind and you support the women that are below you, the younger classmen, students in high school, so on and so forth, so that you too can become a woman who inspires. Thank you.
This next stand sucks. I would like to invite my fellow sister of the Women of Color Dialogue Circle, Miracle Wobu, back up here with me so that she can help present the gifts. Okay, so each of you have been pinned with a beautiful calla lily brooch. We hope this will remind you of how much you have inspired others and have inspired us. May you continue inspiring in your life's journey. Because you never took no for an answer and without fail persisted, we want to present you this book by Chelsea Clinton. Miracle's handing it to you right now. She persisted around the world, 13 women who changed history. Through each of your persistence, we are inspired to reach for the stars, to feel worthy, important, and that no matter what obstacles may be in our paths, we know that should never give up on our dreams. In addition to this book, we also want to give you a framed quote by Anais Nin, taken from her poem, Risk. And then the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was greater than the risk it took to blossom. Remember this quote when you find yourself doubting of your good works. And lastly, the colorful calla lily bouquets are a memento of thanksgiving for your courage, wisdom, and inspiration. Thank you.
And I would like to introduce Dr. Ruta Shah-Gordon.
So I'm reminded of a Maya Angelou quote where she says, people will forget what you said, people might forget what you did, but they won't forget the way that you made them feel. And I have to say that each of you have done that so well tonight in inspiring all of us. So thank you so much for all of your hard work that you've done and your continued hard work. There were so many themes that I heard. I heard themes of caring and sharing, caring for others, caring for their families, caring for our students, friends, and then sharing of themselves and just giving back in so many ways. Their expertise, their advocacy of the things that they're doing, they are reaching back for others and helping them move forward, and giving of their time and energy. And all of that really gets to one main quality that I feel like you all have exhibited, and that's mentorship. And so I would say being a mentor is really important, and finding a mentor is really important. So I'm going to just close with one other quote by Dr. Angelou. In order to be a mentor, and an effective one must care. You don't have to know how many square miles are in Idaho. You don't need to know what is the chemical makeup of chemistry, or of blood or water. You know what you know, and you care about the person. You care about what you know, and you care about the person you're sharing it with. So I would say, let's all follow in their footsteps, going back to the beginning, and follow these amazing women, and all of you also have the inspiration, and you are inspiring us. So carry it forward, pay it back. Thank you for coming tonight. Oh, I forgot to do one important thing. We have to say a big thank you for Letty Romero. She herself is an inspiring and amazing woman. She puts in hours upon hours to make sure things go well, that students feel cared about. So thank you, Letty, for all that you do.